I should have listened to my instincts. The moment my wife, Jessica, and I stepped into our honeymoon cabin deep in the secluded woods of Colorado, I felt that something was wrong. It wasn't just the eerie silence or the way the trees loomed overhead, blocking out the sky. It was the feeling that we weren't alone, that someone was watching us. The rustic cabin was beautiful, exactly what we had envisioned: a large stone fireplace, wooden beams, and cozy furniture. But there was a strange odor lingering in the air. It wasn't strong at first, just a faint mustiness, but as the night wore on, it grew more pungent, almost rancid. Jessica wrinkled her nose. "Do you smell that?" Maybe something died under the cabin. We searched around but found nothing. Eventually, we chalked it up to old wood and dust and decided to air the place out. That night, after an exhausting day of traveling, we finally went to bed. But sleep did not come easily. At around 2 a.m., Jessica jolted awake. A sound, a creak on the wooden floorboards. My heart pounded in my chest. She nudged me. "Did you hear that?" "Half asleep," I groaned. "It's an old cabin, Jess. It's just settling." She wasn't so sure. The noise had sounded deliberate, like a footstep. She held her breath, listening. Silence. Maybe she had imagined it. The next morning, we went for a hike to shake off the nerves. The fresh mountain air helped, but something still didn't feel right. When we returned to the cabin, we found the front door slightly ajar. Jessica grabbed my arm. "You locked that, right?" "Of course I did." A cold dread settled over me. I stepped inside first, my fists clenched. The cabin was exactly as we had left it except for one thing. The old rocking chair by the fireplace was now facing a different direction. Neither of us had touched it. Trying to stay rational, I checked the windows and doors. There was no sign of forced entry. Maybe the wind had moved it, I reasoned, though the thought sounded ridiculous even to me. That night, the smell grew worse. It was putrid now, thick and suffocating. We searched the kitchen, the bathroom, even beneath the bed. Nothing. Then, the knocking started. A slow, deliberate tapping against the bedroom window. Jessica clutched my arm, her breath shallow. "Who is that?" I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight, shining it outside. Nothing. Just darkness and trees swaying in the wind. The knocking stopped. Then, we heard something worse, a low whisper, right outside the door. "Let me in," Jessica whimpered. I leaped up, grabbed a fireplace poker, and yanked open the door. Nothing. Just the empty porch, the dense woods beyond it. The whisper had been so clear, so close, but there was no one there. Terrified, we packed our bags, deciding to leave first thing in the morning. But the night wasn't over yet. I awoke again around 3 a.m., this time to an even more horrifying sight. Jessica, standing at the foot of the bed, completely still, her eyes open but unseeing. "Jessica," I whispered. She didn't respond. My stomach twisted. She was breathing heavily, almost wheezing. Then, slowly, she turned her head toward me, her expression blank, void of recognition. "Jessica, wake up." I shook her. Suddenly, she gasped, as if breaking the surface of deep water. Her eyes snapped back to normal. What happened?" He was trembling. "You were standing there, staring at me. You wouldn't answer." She looked horrified. "I don't remember that." Neither of us slept for the rest of the night. As soon as daylight broke, we packed and left in a hurry. But as we drove away down the long dirt road, Jessica glanced back at the cabin one last time, and that's when she saw it. A figure, standing in the upstairs window, watching us leave. We never looked back again.